Ready?
All right, we are here with Doug Arthur, who is the creator of the project, The Bridge, and we, following this interview, will be a roundtable with the rest of the creators involved, and we're talking to Doug because he was having some audio issues during that, but we can hear him now. So how's it going, Doug?
It's going much better now that you can hear me. Yeah, what you're going to see after this is kind of comical um, as you try, and watch me try not to lose my cool um, during the show. But fortunately, it's a good bunch of guys, and they were kind of pick up the pick up the slack from my technical difficulties here.
So tell us a little bit about the project itself and the inspirations behind it.
Uh, well, I mean, anybody that's lived in the capital region, and especially in the Schenectady County area, for any amount of time is kind of aware of the Glenville Bridge. It's got its own Facebook page. There's been songs written about it. Um, it's a low hanging train bridge. It's only about 10 feet 11 inches, and trucks just crash into it all the time. The state spent several $1 million to upgrade the signage, and they even built like a turnaround for trucks, and trucks still crash into it.
I
um,
mean, what's next? The wacky wavy wobbler?
yeah, something like that. It's like, hey, stop here. Used cars. But so it kind of, I think, lent itself to a good project. And as I was trying to explain in the roundtable, which didn't turn out so well for me. I had met Mike Spring and Shane Moore, and Myron too, over the last, I don't know, 3, 4 years at least, doing local shows like Electric City Comic Con and Fandom Fest, and Stillwater, public library show, and just a bunch of the local shows. And we got kind of friendly. I asked them to do a panel discussion with independent comics at the Fandom Fest in 2024, which wound up being the last Fandom Fest. Um, and, uh, and we decided to have dinner afterwards, and we just were hanging out. And I think one or two of us were like, "Hey, it might be fun to collaborate on something sometime." And it was really my wife who, afterwards, when I was kind of telling her about, hanging out and everything, she's like, "Oh, you guys really should do a project together. You're all from Glenville or Scotia, and you know you should do something about the bridge." It was, I think, probably because another truck had crashed into it that week, and and I thought about it for a second, and it was kind of a joke, at first, but I was like, you know what, that's not a bad idea. Um, and, uh, and so I thought, let's put together an anthology book, and it took me a little while to kind of get the kind of the full concept of it uh, in my head. Uh, and so I think around June of this year, I put a call out to um, our local cartoonists, uh, and creators, and quite a few responses. So we got Peter Sefcik, and Mike, and Myron Lausen uh, is also contributing, and my brother my brother Rick is going to do a story, and, uh, and when we started this project, he was living in Cobleskill, but he has since moved to Atlanta just a couple of weeks ago. So he's going to have to finish his project down there, unfortunately. But um, and, and we also have Sean Kelly is also going to be contributing a story as well. I met the Cohoes Comic Con and I think Shirt Factory up in Glens Falls. I think I met him up there too, and we talked and discovered we were practically neighbors. Um, he's he's a really interesting cartoonist. Um, he's did a web comic called Roy's Boys, which was collected into I think 3 volumes of comics. And he's done a bunch of other mini comics and stuff. And he's originally I think from out west, like Portland area, and I don't know exactly what brought him to our little town, but he lives not too far from the bridge, and been for a few years now. Um, so he's a bit of a transplant, but he's got firsthand experience with the with the bridge. Um, so uh, so looking forward to seeing what he comes up with. He said he would do a 3 to 5 page story. And we're all doing uh, 5 to 7 pages for the most part. Uh, it's really kind of a neat project insofar as uh, it's a true collaborative effort. Even though I'm the one doing kind of all the legwork for publishing, um, it's truly collaborative. I've really been seeking feedback on making decisions with everybody as far as you know what kind of format you want to use, what printers you want to use, and kind of sort out a bunch of different printers to get like the best prices. And some printers offer sketch covers, and some printers offer covers, and some, there's pros and cons to each one. So we've met a few times out and draw and talk about so, it's been kind of great because I've pretty much been a one man working group when it comes to my comics. I collaborated with a little over the years, uh, about 9 years ago, which is amazing that it was 9 years ago because it feels like we just did. uh, but uh, but mostly like I do all the writing, drawing, lettering. I do the graphic design, all of the book design. Pretty much the only thing I don't do is actually print the book that publish them. So to, I'm always trying to push myself with either experimenting with uh, tools and media, but also with the type of projects I do. The last book I did was a hardcover book. I'd never done a hardcover book before, and that presented its own problems. At this time, uh, I'm doing an anthology book where I'm collaborating with other artists on putting a book together, and I really want to make it as collaborative as possible. And so it uh, it's very artist friendly. Everybody's owns the copyright to their own work. Even though I'm going to be publishing it, they can own it. They can do whatever they want with it. I'll just have um, the right to publish with, with their work. Um, and then uh, and then we're basically splitting all of the proceeds. Um, Kind of it's kind of a weird way, like you know we can't I don't have the money to afford to pay people kind of up front, but I got kind of a buy-in with this where everybody is going to get based on how much money we raise in the project. everybody's going to get a percentage, you know, number of copies of the book. So if you uh, contribute a 7-page story, you'll get like 35 copies of the book. And then whatever money you make from selling those books, that's yours.
Hmm.
Um, and so uh, so there's there's kind of an incentive for everybody to make the project successful. Um, Whereas, kind of in other models, if I was paying somebody, um, if I was wealthy enough to be pay, afford a good page rate for people, um, you know, you know, there wouldn't necessarily be that buy-in for making things
Hmm.
successful. I kind of seen that with other anthology books. It's like, um, you know, I told the story, but that's kind of where their involvement, in the project. But what's nice with this is I think everybody's kind of bought into this kind of co-creation. Like I said, I'm doing kind of the labor for the publishing, but it's really very collaborative. It's a co-production. Everybody is contributing to um, making decisions. Everybody is contributing to um, you know just making the project happen. So and we're kind of having fun, kind of pushing each other and making it work. So um, I'm really excited by it. It's a new thing for me to work with other people to make content. So, uh, I think it'll keep me from getting I think, um, as far as that goes. It's something that I've thought about doing for a long time, many years, but the I know, and I've talked with Mike about this, because it's more something that he has to deal with because he's a writer and he doesn't draw his own stories. Um, so he has to hire other people. Um, and, so, uh, you know, it, it, it really was, it took me a while to kind of come up with the concept of having this kind of split of, of, of the inventory. So,
Hmm.
if we wind up being able to print, I think our goal is to print like 400 or 500 copies. So, you know, there's 6 of us. We'll divide it up by the total page count. And like if I do a 7-page story, I'll get, you know, X number of copies based on
Yeah.
whatever I do. And, my brother does a 5-page story, he'll get X number of copies based on whatever that works out to. I'll have to do, higher math to figure that out. Uh, so it's kind of I think a unique thing, and I'm sure that's why I did. There were probably some people, some artists locally maybe didn't want to um, be part of the project because I wasn't able to pay cash up front, which I totally understand. I get it, but I'm glad that I got this group of guys together to, that are willing to kind of take the gamble with me, uh, you know, because we will all be successful together. We'll all fail together, but the risk is kind of mitigated and spread out amongst us,
Hmm.
um, just as the success will be spread out amongst us uh, as well. So, but it's for me, it's kind of an exciting way of, of doing things, and it's an experiment. We'll see if it works or not. And I think we're good friends. That if it doesn't work, it's not gonna ruin our friendship. At least I hope not. But yeah. So that's just kind of the basic gist of it.
So it being kind of a, well, it is a anthology focused on a very specific place. Do you how do you are you trying to get it to translate to maybe to a wider audience, outside of, let's say, nationwide?
Well, I mean, I feel like, I mean, yeah, there's certainly a local appeal to this, but I feel like, it's got, horror, it's got humor, it's got, you silliness, it's got some seriousness. I know, my brother's story is going to be pretty cool. Uh, uh, I think I think on his story yet. It's it's pretty amazing stuff. He has this character called Road Killer, which is basically the embodiment of, 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 of road and debris that kind of lurks under the bridge. It just looks like I mean, if anybody is familiar with my brother's art from the Ninja Turtles, it's pretty dynamic and it's really cool. It reminds me a lot of kind of like 70s Kirby stuff. It's really neat what he's got going on with that character. So we've got a little bit of everything. I mean, mine is going to be a little. I mean, what I do. I'm kind of known for my humor and satire. Um, you know, I think that they'll talk about their project. You know, it's really it's got a little something for everybody. I think local legends and local myths are uh, different. It's about a cursed book. Uh, it's a little bit different from vampire and, and zombies. That stuff's been done to death. So this is kind of interesting. Good horror. Uh, like I said, there are some of the stories, but it's also there's some history. Uh, it, 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 I think it's gotten beyond. We've already gotten some backers from like Los Angeles, Canada, uh, 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 beyond the capital region. So uh, I think there is some appeal there beyond just of local.
All right, well, uh, thanks for taking the extra time to kind of get have your voice heard as the project creator, and, as people will see
I,
following this. It's definitely
I appreciate the opportunity to kind of get a redo. I don't really know. I don't really know what happened. I'm guessing maybe it was a big with it could have been that.
hopefully. So yeah, so enjoy the what's to follow, and you know support the project.
Thank you, and I hope your viewers and listeners, you know, at least check the project out, and even if they can't, uh, share with people, especially in the capital region and
All right, welcome to the show. I'm Chad, and for those of you who have sat through an episode of this before, you might recognize some familiar faces, and I think we might have one new one. So let me bring in tonight. We're talking about with some local creators up here in upstate New York, and these are all great guys who I've talked to, before and done multiple interviews with, and then but they're all working on this one project, and so they're all here to chat about it, and so let's bring them all in and find out about it. Oh wow, look, there we all are.
Hello.
Hello.
So first off, let me introduce Doug,
Hello.
Doug Arthur, who is the mastermind behind the project. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, and we'll start there.
Uh, I've been drawing comics since 1988. I've published 16 books, collecting my comics over the years. And I decided for this project, I wanted to bring some other local crew, kind of help flesh out this idea I had, which quite honestly, I really need to give a shout out to my wife Jessica for actually coming up with a book. But we can get into the details of that later. But uh, I had a long run comic strip called Tales from the Dunk Side, which is published back in. I've been self-publishing my books since 1995. So I definitely I try to do a lot of local shows here in the Capital District, but I get around a little bit. And I think the last time I talked to you, like 4 or 5 years ago at least. It's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah, but we've seen each other out on the convention circuit, local circuit. So, um,
Oh, can you hear me? Okay, I'm getting some comment chat that I'm glitching.
you're kind of breaking up.
Okay, well, I'm not sure what to do about that, but
That sounds better.
Yeah.
okay.
All right. All right. So, welcome back to the show. And as people who've seen the show multiple times, Mike Spring is here, who is a creator himself. He's done a couple comic books and a book about movies from the '80s, and he is my New York Comic Con room buddy, at least one of them. How you going, Mike?
Yeah. Good. How are you, Chad?
I'm hanging in there. Um,
Okay.
and then oh no, I'm doing fine. I mean, I saw I think I saw most of you except for Doug and Peter on Sunday at the show here at Albany. But uh, yeah, so let's uh, going up over to Shane Moore, who we've talked to before, and who is also one of the people who I've worked with for the Electric City Comic Con over in Schenectady. How you doing, Shane?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited to talk about this anthology that we're working on.
And I think it's been a while since Peter's been on the show. I think it was years ago when you were first doing your 24-hour comic book thing, and I think we've kind of tried to connect before it, but and then you also run a local convention that I had the pleasure of tabling at last year and couldn't make this year. But say hello and reintroduce yourself to those who may not know about you.
So, like all the other fellows, I also write and draw comics. I have broken into a foray of doing some promoting of my own. I've set up a small local convention, a couple of book shows, one of which is coming up, at the Cohoes Library. and taking that opportunity just in much like Doug is with this project to take as many local creators and get everybody involved and face forward as I can to to get us all involved in the community and put us out there as much as possible to interact with the readers, collectors, and our fellow artists. So excited to be part of those projects and very excited to be a part of this project, especially having grown up in Scotia, going to Scotia Glenville schools, and being very familiar with the bridge in question.
And finally, we have Myron, who I think I honestly probably known the longest because we used to go to a comic book meetup club together, and then at the time I didn't know he was creator, a creator himself. But Myron, can you kind of introduce yourself and kind of tell us about your journey as a creator and reader?
Yeah, absolutely. So Myron Lozon, I run Psycho Fire Productions, which I am the artist, writer, and publisher. Been self-publishing since 2017 officially. I've done 24 books in that time. A few are collaborative books with other people writing and me doing the artwork, but I've done 100% of the artwork. Been a comics person since I was about 6 years old. Been drawing since about 6 or 7 years old. Definitely excited to be a part of this project because I am the store manager of the Hannaford in Glenville, which is right down the road from the bridge. So I hear about the bridge and all of its funky crashes and clashes over the time. So for me, this is a great opportunity to collaborate with some people that I've met over the last few years that are fantastic creators, writers, artists, and or both. So when Doug pitched this conversation to me, I'm like, I 100% want to be in on it. And it was such a great opportunity to be in a bigger project. So glad for the opportunity.
Great. And I know that you're also one of the creators who helps with the the library convention that Peter runs, and I know I figure that's probably where you I don't know. I'm just saying maybe got connected with Doug. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
You know, it's funny. That's true because met Peter kind of sidebar, got into the Cahoes Library Con. Met him the first time though at there was the show down in the air hangar down in Oneonta.
Yeah, the Twin Tiers now it's called.
And so you and I met there. Met Doug at your show in the Cahoes. He was right behind me. He was the table behind me the first time he and I had a conversation. Met Mike there, I think, the first time as well. Shane and I have met at a bunch of shows over the time, and so it's just a cool opportunity to put the synergy together. And there's so much energy behind this. Like I'm really excited with the conversations that happen behind the scenes, you know, and it's never adversarial. It's always, hey, this is what I think. This is what I think. Everybody can share their opinion freely and without question, you know, and you know, if it gets a little hot and heavy, it's only because people care, you know, and so I'm excited about all of that. So yeah, the last couple of years have been a really great opportunity to meet some awesome creators, and now we're all on this project together. So really excited to see where it ends up.
So let's
Chad, this
let's
won't surprise you at all because you know us all, but when it gets adversarial, it's usually my fault. I'm the
I
one who
didn't say
comes
that.
in
Notice I
with
didn't say that.
all of the delicacy and aplomb of a Mack truck. And so I just come in and say things in a very blunt and direct way, and then I feel bad. So I know that's very surprising to you, of all people, since you've had to room with me at New York Comic Con. You know how I can be sometimes. I just want to be clear, it's all me. I'm the bad guy most times, but it comes from a place of love. So,
so Doug, kind of tell us a little bit about the project and again the inspirations behind it and what you are putting together.
Well, it really started with uh,
no, still cutting out, Doug.
Yeah.
Put it right up to your chin. Let's see if you can.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Ah!
Unplug something. Unplug your headphones or something, maybe. I've seen that work before.
I hate you.
Work.
Microphone, computer.
I'll translate for Doug. So my brilliant friend Mike Spring was talking to me one day, and he said, "Doug, I have this amazing idea, but I'm gonna let you take the credit for it. It's an anthology about a bridge that's local that eats trucks." And I said, "Mike, you're a genius. You're the smartest guy I've ever met, even though you can sometimes be a little too direct." And I said, "Oh, Doug, I can't let you say that." But I did let him say it a few times. And after he called me a genius 3 or 4 times, I was like, "But Doug, I have enough things that I get called a genius for. So you take this one and you spearhead it." How am I doing so far, Doug? Does that sound pretty accurate?
Eep.
Yeah.
You can't argue with me. So.
I'm checking the transcript. You didn't miss a beat. That's pretty spot
on. Okay.
Doug's like, "You're off the book."
I don't even. You're
See, what he's saying now is, yes, you're absolutely right, Mike. You've told it brilliantly because you're such a prosaic writer. Even just the story is you do it mesmerizingly. I don't know what to tell you, Doug.
Is that any better? I don't know.
Oh,
yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I can hear it.
All right.
Okay.
Would you like to tell us how
that
it
was
really
your time,
happened?
Doug. We're gonna move on now.
Yeah, I think I covered it all now.
One can only hope. Well, it actually started.
Well,
Nope.
I don't know.
Doug, can you try not moving or breathing or existing at all? Could we try that for a minute? Like talk without moving any muscles.
Existence is futile, I guess.
Well, I don't know if this is going to be great television, or
right.
I think it might be slightly brilliant, though. I feel like from a comedy perspective, we are really going to
Yes.
over.
So I'll take a second to give some history of the bridge, since Mike gave the history of the project and his lethal
Very
involvement.
accurate.
Nothing.
So it is a bridge going down 146, which is actually traditionally a pretty dangerous road going from
Is that
Park to
you can? Yes.
the first
You
word of
got
each
that
sentence
now.
are getting good. Oh, we got
Okay.
that.
That we
We
heard.
got the sigh. We got the sigh.
Talk really breathly and romantically.
All right.
So, the entire day.
I'm gonna leave. And then
Oh, no,
Okay.
back out
Okay.
again.
That's probably a good idea.
So the road connects local areas, Clifton Park, Glenville, coming up the back end of Hannaford, where I worked at, in the last century. It is a train bridge. It's relatively narrow, but not a one-car bridge, but it is short. And for some reason, every trucker thinks that maybe if they pick up some speed, they can just kind of glide under it, in spite of every other truck getting opened up like a sardine can. And it happens repeatedly, to the point where every time it happens now, they go and they pop another sign down. Then they start popping down signs with flashers, then flashers and flags, and then flashers, flags, and banners. And it is just this absolute carnival of signage when you go through saying this is 10 foot, 11 inches, don't try it.
Mhm.
And yet every week, every other week, you will see on the news that yet another truck has been capped by the Glenville Bridge.
The state troopers even sit there.
Yeah.
They even sit by the bridge.
It's funny too, because like I'm not a truck driver by any stretch of the imaginations. I've driven a truck maybe like 3 times in my life, and they were always U-Hauls. But the one thing I remember having those U-Hauls was knowing exactly how tall they are, because it's right on the side of the truck and it tells you that you don't run into bridges. And I remember one time when I was driving up to New York and we got on the Jersey Turnpike, or we got on the Garden State or something, and it was like, no trucks allowed. And I was like, well, I'm already on it. And then I kept seeing the signs and I kept getting more and more nervous, because I'm like, they're arched. So it's like 10 feet on the side and 12 feet in the middle. And I was like 11 and a half feet. So I'm staying in the middle so I could get to an exit. And it was like the one thing I knew how to do was not run into a bridge. So it's the main thing that these professional truck drivers don't seem to like understand how tall their truck is. I don't. Maybe there's more to it than that because I'm not a truck driver. I don't want to impugn anybody, but it seems like one of those things that maybe should be, I don't know, elementary. I don't know. So anyway,
So-
Doug, how are you?
Doug.
Welcome to the show.
Can you hear me now?
We heard
Okay,
5 of
keep
those
going.
6 words.
Now we have nothing at all. Wow.
Nothing?
No sound.
Not even a
No
little?
sound.
Keep going. You're sounding good. You're sounding good.
Oh,
No,
we
I
can hear you. We can hear you mostly.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
broke
keep
Doug.
going.
Don't
Maybe I'll just be a silent partner in this. I don't know.
Oh no, you're much better now. Keep
You're
going.
much better.
Yeah, keep going.
Okay.
Tell us the genesis.
Okay. Well, it. After all of this,
This
it's
one
really-
time at band camp.
it's not. You're not making me feel confident. You can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
No, I can hear you.
All right. So I've been seeing
Scratch.
Now Doug's going to kill you, Myron, not me.
Don't make me start
Keep trying,
muting you.
Doug. Keep trying.
I get up on Wednesday night for this.
Glug.
Okay, the
Well,
floor is yours, Doug.
I think the floor can go low, quite frankly. As I was saying, I met Mike and Shane. I kept bumping into them at shows over the years. And eventually, at some point, we started talking.
I hear nothing.
You're not
I
hearing
can
it?
hear him.
We can hear him. I can hear you.
I can hear him.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Wow, that's weird.
Well,
I'm hearing you.
it is kind of weird because earlier I couldn't hear anybody except for Chad and Mike, but I can always hear Mike.
I hear him in my sleep. Usually because he's sleeping next to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, we started at shows, and I think it best.
We did the panel at
We did a panel at Fan Fest, and having dinner afterward. And
It looks very articulate.
Mhm. Now you're breaking up again, Doug. It's like this is like the worst cell phone commercial ever. Can you hear me now?
I really don't know what the problem is unless my Wi-Fi connection sucks. But
It's weird because like when you say things like that, I can hear you perfectly. And as soon as you start talking about something of substance, then your mic starts cutting out. And I'm not even being sarcastic. Like that's like I just heard you say I don't know what's going on perfectly, but then you start talking about the project, and then all of a sudden it's like
It's the bridge.
the
The
bridge
bridge
haunting us.
is
Yes.
effing with us right now.
I'm
It's
geographically
all about the bridge right now. It's taking away our energy.
Right.
I'm geographically the closest to the bridge, so it's
there
probably
you go.
interference.
Yeah, seriously.
Interference.
Okay,
Well-
so you and Shane and I, we met, we started hanging out, we started talking about projects to collaborate on, and I believe your wife, you said, had suggested this as an idea, kind of as almost as a joke maybe, or just sort of as like a throwaway suggestion?
Yeah, something like that. It
Right.
really was because I think at the time there had been another couple of crashes, and
Yeah.
and she's like, "Oh, you guys should do a project together," and then she's like, "You should do a project about the bridge," and and I thought it was kind of it was a funny idea at first, and then the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what, that's actually kind of a cool idea, and so I put the. Eventually got the courage to ask people and I put the idea out there
And this is what you came up with.
and this is what we came up with. Well, there's a couple more here. My brother is going to also contribute a story. Some people might know work on the Ninja Turtles back in the day, and we've also got another great local creator, Sean Kelly, who's going to contribute he said 3 to 5 pages, so we'll see what he comes up with. I had hoped for people, but this is what we got, and it's actually kind of nice because I think we all are within a few of the bridge. Uh, I think Sean and I are probably the closest to the bridge, although Myron works closer.
Yeah, Myron, you're right next to the bridge where you work.
He's like right across the street.
I wish I could hear what he was saying.
And to be fair, a fun bit of trivia is he asked over 400 creators before he got the four of us to say it.
So that's kind of the genesis of it. And as you can tell, it's worth the wait.
Oh yeah, yes, we are all excellent creators and quite technically adept, as you can tell by the smoothness of this multi-Zoom channel interview.
We make drawings.
So let's talk about the individual stories, and we'll start with Peter.
So
You can hear him.
I very much. I didn't hear that. I don't know if I want to. Mine is so I was trying to figure out what is the draw of the bridge, not being a draw bridge. Why can the truckers not resist hitting it? And some grandiose ideas went through, but then I went to a more basic thing of like maybe they're just hypnotized. Maybe it's something like the sirens of the sea calling them, against the rocky shores. And so I tried to find a historical poem running off of that, but I couldn't. So I ended up writing my own. And mine is a bit of poetry set against picturesque of the sirens, which, fun fact, the original sirens were half bird and half human. So that solved my biggest problem of how I'm going to get mermaids onto a train bridge. So it ended up the actual accurate siren is half bird, which makes sense because of the singing. So I worked that in and set this seafaring poetry against a tractor trailer driver being lured into the bridge.
All right, and Myron, how about your contribution?
So I actually have two. My first one is a one-page story where, it's aliens are coming out of the galaxy in their UFO, and they kind of hover over the Earth, and the one says to the other, hey, it seems like there's intelligent life down there. Let's go check it out. So they head down and determine that right as the bridge hit has happened that, yeah, there's probably not intelligent life here, and away they go. So that's my one-page story. The other one I took a little bit more thought behind, and I wanted to do something that was kind of it's mythological, but it's rooted in local history as well. So it starts with ancient indigenous mythology, and I really dug into some of those real myths, and the creation goddess is involved, and there's an area of land, a hill that's taboo. Don't touch that hill. Don't touch the hill. And in that story, you find out why eventually why that hill is something that should not be touched. But the indigenous peoples lived there and were fine and didn't do anything that they shouldn't do. And then the Dutch settlers came into the area and understood the conversation and didn't do what they shouldn't do. And then we fast forward to modern history where the construction company that ended up owning the land didn't do what they should do and dug up some things that they shouldn't have dug up, and sparked a whole conversation of it's essentially an entity that takes the souls from the bridge looking to escape from their confines. So I don't want to spoil the whole story, but that's kind of the broad sweep of my story.
I'd like to add that I've read Myron's story, and it's really amazing. But he tells it in this historical, almost like through the ages kind of history of the bridge. And as I was reading it the first time, I was like, oh, good, someone's telling the real story of the bridge, because I didn't know this history. And I'm like, that's really interesting. And then at a certain point, you're like, oh, this is not real. Like, okay, oops, because it obviously takes a very fictional turn at a certain point. But I was all in. I was like, man, this is really interesting. So it's a great story. But I do remember it was very funny that I was like, oh, okay, he made this up. I see.
Myron, you had a head start on everybody, and I think that was also the same. Everybody kind of like gravitated towards the same storyline, and then you kind of did it first. So Or at least there were other people thinking like Native American curse is like, that's the right way to go. Like,
right.
If I had a nickel for every sacred hill I wasn't supposed to.
Right.
My problem is I'm the overachiever. I just want to be done, and I want to be done now. And I have so many projects going on that I'm like, I'm just going to run to the finish line. And everybody's like, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop.
Most of us, Chad, were like, I think I have an idea. And Myron's like, here's my finished pages. What do you guys think? And we were like, it was like, I just have to letter 3 more words. And we're all like, what just happened? What? And I mean, it was pretty, he definitely
But then everybody started to really get into their projects. So maybe the inspiration was the cool thing. So I'll take that.
Yeah. No, it's great.
Actually, Myron drew 3 graphic novels while we were on this cast right now. So
he wrote one called "Why I Can't Hear Doug." That's gonna be our next anthology, Doug. It's just a book about us no one being able to hear you on a podcast interview.
This podcast?
Yeah, about this very podcast. We're just going to transcribe it in graphic novel form. It'll be a bestseller.
But I gotta say, one of my favorite parts of this so far is the character that Shane created of the piper, the Scottish piper. Like, and I'm, so I was crafting my cover idea, and I'm like, hey, can you send me that picture that you drew of that Scottish piper? Because it's so freaking cool. And I want to incorporate it into my cover idea. And Shane's like, when I get home. And luckily Doug had it and was able to send it to me. So I was able, because I'm like, no, I want it no, because I'm drawing.
Well,
no.
I mean, in my defense, I was at work and there were a lot of Facebook Messenger pages that I maybe shouldn't have been reading at work.
And Myron was like, I've already drawn 40 pages without a character in it. I just need to fill him in and I can be done with a whole new graphic novel.
I'm ready for it. No.
I know you're on vacation this week, but I work at a Halloween place right now, so I'm a little busy.
Slightly busy.
It's probably all sorts of crazy there. Yeah. But I'm grateful that Doug had squirreled it away and sent me that image to be able to work from, because it was helpful. So, I love the collaboration with this group and the energy behind it. So I wanted to honor everybody involved when I was working on the cover, the idea that I had. So super cool.
Yeah.
And Mike, you and Shane are collaborating together.
Yes, I would like to point out that I'm the only creator in the room right now who is not an artist and is just a writer. Everybody else here writes and draws. And while by some people's math, that would make me less talented than everybody else in the room, by my math, that makes me more special because I just do the one thing. I'm not a multi-talented person like these guys. So I'm more rare is what I would say.
You're a unicorn, Mike. You're the unicorn.
Exactly. So no, I'm not an artist. I'm a writer, but Shane is an exceptional artist. And I like to think that we are going to be a great collaborative team. And I think Shane's method of collaborating with me is to just draw what he wants to draw and telling me that I'm going to like it, whether I like it or not. And that's been working so far pretty well because I'm fairly easygoing about this. But yeah, so we've created a short story, and it's kind of mine is sort of it's called The Last Span on Earth, and basically it's kind of a history of the bridge from now until the end of time. Because I wanted to take kind of a different approach. So it's got a little bit of everything. It's got science fiction. It's got comedy. As you can tell, I'm not the most serious person in the room. And Shane is. So it's a good blending of our two sensibilities. Because Shane doesn't believe in humor, and so I write a lot of humor. You can see by his face; he's clearly not digging what I'm putting down right now. So we're a great partnership in that way. But I think it's a balance of each other. So I'm pretty excited about it. I've seen some of the pages, and I think it's going to be pretty awesome. Yeah, there we go. That looks like a white rabbit in a snowstorm.
Yeah.
There we go.
I have seen some of the stuff in person when we were at AlbanyCon on Sunday, and some of the panels that he's put together are really fantastic stuff. It looks great.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
So Shane, what is it really like working with Mike?
Well, it's not like that. We were at Albany Comic Con right next to each other. and I had gotten the script a few days before. And I heard Mike describe himself as not the easiest writer to work with. I don't think that's 100% true.
Let me write that down.
Everyone's taking notes.
I
said I wasn't the most artist-friendly writer.
Yeah.
To be fair.
A real POS, he said. And,
the fact that Mike still insists on faxing his
right.
plots to
I mean,
people.
the group chat would indicate that I am the POS of the group, I guess.
No.
So I'm the adversarial one.
I think that Mike has been. I mean, this is like you've been the guy who's hired somebody. This is a collaboration, so maybe it's a little bit of a learning curve.
Sure.
But I think it's working out.
Yeah.
You wrote some good stuff. I'm going to try and draw some good stuff.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So, Doug, would you like to try to talk about a little bit about the rewards here you guys are offering? I can bring them up on the screen if you would like to read them.
Yeah, sure. We can do that. We can attempt to do that.
For the moment, you sound good.
Oh, that's terrific. I'm glad that's happening. Well, I'm.
Doug has the story too.
Yes, I do.
We skipped him,
and so my brother. But my story is still kind of writing, but it's I think similar to what Mike described. I'm kind of doing like a, and I wouldn't say a history of the bridge, but I'm doing kind of like historical moments of like famous things that might have happened at the bridge. So like I have a sequence where Andy Warhol did a series of portraits of the bridge. Stomper Bully and Bigfoot are gonna have some kind of a crash with the bridge.
Bigfoot the truck.
Bigfoot the truck, yeah.
Respect.
And there might be an evil appearance. I can't verify that. And there might even be an Arnold Schwarzenegger appearance, but again, I can't confirm that either. But yeah, as far as the rewards go, we've got a lot of the very standard stuff. We've you can get a PDF copy of the book, which is kind of at least a nod to any living outside of the U.S. Because shipping outside the U.S. is like so prohibitively expensive these days, and just getting more and more expensive, especially to Canada. It used to be a little bit more, and now it's like 3 times as much.
It's $400 right now.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
So Doug, you're breaking up again.
I'm good at that. I've been divorced twice, so
Because you keep stealing your wife's ideas for stories.
You can expect his story.
So the book itself is we're planning on 40-page full color book, and so $20 will get you a copy of the book, and a PDF copy of the book. We've got there. That's our autographed copy. That seems to be our most popular tier right now. We've got 7 backers at that level, and all of the creators on the book are going to be signing it. Although I think we have to figure out what to do with my brother, because since we moved to Atlanta, so he's no longer in the area.
We'll have to auto pen.
Yeah.
Him. But he's got some cool things. We'll get to. Next up, Myron got some prints that he's got on to
right, Doug, hang on a second. Because we're not. I don't think we're getting less of you than we were getting of you. Am I wrong? Anybody?
Nope.
I don't hear Doug. I don't hear Doug at all.
Okay.
What are we on the Myron tier?
Myron
Yeah.
tier. So the next tier. Does anybody else want to take it? You want me to Shane?
Yeah, somebody else.
Myron, go ahead. It's your tier.
Myron, you take tier. You talk about it.
So my tier I will include 3 prints of covers from my ongoing comic series, The Chronicles of Fuzz. For those of you that don't follow me, that's Fuzz is a local creator who does a weekly podcast, and he's got 40,000 plus followers on YouTube. He talks to local musicians and national musicians, and he wanted to expand his brand. So his way of doing that, he's like, let's do a comic series together. So we're actually, the bottom line of the series is Fuzz, as a young man, went to Saratoga Winters. For those of you that are music fans, might remember the venue in Latham. He found out that he met a Crossroads demon there who offered him a contract in exchange for a bag of weed, a bottle of Mad Dog 2020, and a ticket to see King's X. So he signs the contract, and years later finds out the demon's ready to come and take his soul. So he finds out he can get out of that contract if he saves 13 souls. So we're issues 0, 1, and 2 into a 13-issue series. And each one features a local famous musician, and kind of comes to a conclusion at the end of the 13 issues where Fuzz will find himself saved, but I don't want to give away the details. But so my prints that are included in this package will be prints that are covers of some of the books in the series.
So I know this is off topic, but I have to say this because I did not grow up in the capital region like most of you guys did, but I've been here for a pretty long time, and I've heard all the stories of Saratoga Winters. Are you telling me Saratoga Winters was in Latham?
Yep.
Not in Saratoga?
Nope.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, for one. And for two, I was today years old when I found out that Saratoga Winters was not in Saratoga. My mind is completely blown.
And if you were to see it, you would say, how has this place not burned to the ground?
Everybody knows that Latham is where you go in the winter when you're from Saratoga.
Okay, good to know.
And Saratoga Winters did burn to the ground in 2007. And I'm going to tell, as part of my story, the reason that it burned to the ground. But the start of the whole thing is that it's above a hellmouth.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
might be accurate. I don't know if that's fiction or if that's historical.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, as someone who I didn't grow up in the capital region either, but as someone who found that through friends years later, as a teenager and into my early 20s, I saw some of the best bands ever at that small hole-in-the-wall venue, such bands as Pantera before they were a headliner. I saw Joan Jett there. I saw Rick Emmett from Triumph there. And it was a great music venue that had a lot to offer. And it's unfortunate that it ended the way it did. So we're going to honor the story, as we go with what happened and why. But it's a cool opportunity for me to share some of the artwork from that in this project as well.
I grew up in Orlando, Florida, so I saw a lot of great bands at the Orlando Arena, which of course was in Miami.
Nice.
I feel like more here, Myron. I think we've been in the same room probably dozens and dozens of times.
We probably have.
Myron, where are you
from?
from?
And I'll realize you're my cousin.
If you're not from around here, where are you from, Myron?
So I grew up in a little town called Cambridge, which is a little north of Scotticoke.
Okay.
And on the border of Vermont, about a few minutes off the border of where Bennington and North Bennington are. So, to me, I grew up in Cowtown, and came down this direction when I was in college. I got my graphic design degree at JCA, which is now Sage Albany, and I did all of that, got out of school, and there was no work. So that's how I ended up in the supermarket business. You know, I've been in the supermarket business now for, I'm going to date myself, about 38 years. I've been with Hannaford for about 35 years. I've been a store manager for the last 5 years in Glenville. So, you know, this is a passion project in terms of the community and the stories for me. But, you know, I did a stint with the Joe Kubert School doing the correspondence course stuff for a while. That got me back into artwork in 2007. So, you know, I love what I do. Artwork, like, you know, people laugh. You know, my day job is stressful. There's a lot of things that go on in a supermarket that you just don't have visibility to. But I draw in the morning every day before I go to work. That's my meditation to get myself in the right headspace. So a lot of the work that I do, and like this morning or yesterday, maybe it was yesterday when I was working on that cover, I'm like, yeah, guys, I'm doing this, you know, because that was my moment where I'm just into it and I'm doing my thing. So, you know, I'm really grateful to do what I do as far as the artwork and things, because it's an absolute gift to be able to share what I love with other people, and a project like this is super cool, and I'm grateful to be a part of it.
Pete, why don't you talk about your reward tier, just because that was the next one up? Why don't you tell what you've got going there too?
All right. Well, as I was digging out to show a preview of what I got here, here's a quick peek at my sirens. A little bit of penciling work. I have to rework the faces a touch and do some inking on that.
That looks awesome, Pete. They look fantastic. Great job.
Yeah. So my tier, what's making that a little bit different is incorporating some sketch cards. It is sketch cards on demand. So you can pick any superhero characters you want, supervillains, any comic book characters. Make a request, and I will do a custom sketch card that will be packaged in there with your book. And so that's a fun opportunity to kind of get what you want out of it that you might not be able to get if you don't attend a convention in person with us. So.
Obviously, Doug, do you want to try talking about the Rick tier? You want me to explain it? What do you want to do?
At all?
Looks like we're going to Mike.
Going to Mike. Okay. So Rick Arthur did an issue of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back in the original Mirage Studios days, and has obviously done a lot of other projects since then. He's collaborated with his brother Doug, who's here with us, on some graphic novels as well. And so he has a package in which you will receive 2 exclusive Ninja Turtles prints along with our graphic novel. And I believe for $50, there's a tier where I will fax you a copy of the graphic novel page. So that's like, it's maybe it's more now, I forget, because that's a pretty special one, is that I'm going to hand fax you the book. So yeah, we can discuss if it's not in the packages there. We'll get it put together for you. So then, of course, we have a lot of add-ons. So all of us have created our own books, and multiple books over the years, prints, artwork, things like that. So, you know, with Kickstarter, once you pick the pledge level you want to pledge on, then there's a menu of add-ons. I think we have something like 10, 15, 20 different add-ons. You know, I have all 3 of my graphic novels, my movie book available. I know that everybody else, I don't want to speak to all of your guys's, that there's a good menu of add-ons as well. So you can just pledge on the Bridge graphic novel, but if you're looking for some, you know, great reading, you can add on a whole bunch of extra books and get a big package in the mail full of different graphic novels and things like that as well. So it's a little something for everybody. And, you know, you can support the main book, but there's a lot of, if you think you're going to like what you see, or, you know, some of the creators, you can also, you know, add to your library with a sampling of books as well.
All right. Is there, as we kind of wrap up here, because I know we've been on here for 45 minutes, and it's usually longer than I usually go on. But is there anything else anybody wants to say? I mean,
Doug probably has a lot he'd like to say.
Yeah, no shit.
I mean, we're not going to hear any of it, but he probably has a lot he wants to say. So,
yeah.
I'm going to say that it's running till the end of November. We appreciate every helping hand that we get. We're trying to make every package really special for anybody that helps out with this project. It is a passion project that has definitely brought us together. It's been a lot of fun to explore this concept, and I think that fun is definitely spilling over into the pages. So pick this up, Kickstarter, between now and the end of November. It's going to be a great time, and obviously you can get those add-ons and extra things in there to really beef up your reading opportunities to break the mold and get some special stories in your
Yeah, and I think that, even though there's obviously a local slant to it with this Glenville Bridge, everyone in the capital region of New York knows, people from outside of this region will enjoy it just as much because it is an anthology. I think every town has a bridge like this, or almost every town has a bridge like this. We actually have had people comment on the Kickstarter being like,
Yes.
you should add in a story about this bridge in Kansas City. It does the same thing. And I'm like, I don't know that bridge, but I bet everyone else knows it, who's from around there. So it's
Might be a sequel.
Yeah,
Might be a
right.
sequel.
Exactly. It could be a sequel. So it's
Let's
it
get
is
through this one first.
yeah, right, exactly.
Before we franchise.
The technical difficulties notwithstanding, if the vibe of this crowd and the jokes and stuff seems like you'd like that, then that's what, like Pete said, is spilling into the book. And I think that kind of edge and humor and different styles and everything is going to make for a really great read.
If you're not into that, the book is completely different.
Right.
Buy it out of spite.
Yeah. If you hate humor,
buy it out.
Personalities, and it's a very serious thing.
Well, there's also all the add-ons too. They don't even have to buy the book. They can
That's right.
They can
Just
buy
buy the
something
add-on.
else.
Or just mail us an envelope full of cash. We'll take that too.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, it's always great chatting with you, whether it's on this format or in person. And whenever you guys have your individual projects that you would like to chat about, that you guys are welcome to always come back, and we'll do more. And
thank you.
But
Thank you, Chad.
You ever, Chad? You asked like one question half an hour ago and haven't said a word since.
Well,
You're welcome.
We will be following and promoting the project on our weekly Crowdfunder Corner over on Comic Watch, which gets posted every Saturday at noon. So we'll follow your progress there as throughout the project, and we'll continue to help you guys get the word out.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks as always, Chad. You're the best.
Thank you very much, Chad. Appreciate you.
All right, have a great evening, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Take care.